What the heck? You're a weirdo. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna, author of the website Russian Vagabond, of this channel about Germany. Today I wanna talk about cultural differences, especially about German habits and Russian habits, and which habits I have actually lost after moving to Germany. When you're moving to a new country, you will for sure adopt new habits, but you will also lose some of your old habits of your home country. That's why I'm gonna share with you today the Russian habits which I have lost in Germany. The first Russian habit I lost in Germany is drinking a lot of tea. In Russia we drink a lot of tea, and in Germany people prefer coffee. Now I'm more coffee person, but I also drink sometimes tea. In Russia, I would barely drink any coffee, but will drink tea all the time. In Russia, we drink tea for any reason. We drinking after meal. Actually, after every meal, we drink it just like between meals and just in the evening as a snack. The tea is always there. The tea is just a great way to spend time with your friends. You just say, do you want to drink some tea? You invite your friends and you always offer them tea. Do you want a cup of tea? You know, to spend some quality time with your friends, we have always our tea in hand, and we just like to drink tea all the time. And it's also beneficial for your health. I think tea is more healthy than coffee. And so now in Germany I actually drink coffee quite regularly every day, and tea is more or less occasional drink. When in Russia for me it was daily drink, and I would drinking at least 3 times a day a cup of tea, and actually like a big cup of tea, like half a liter cup of tea. The next habit is related to food, and in Russia we eat a lot of soups. So you maybe already heard about borscht. It's a very popular Russian soup. And so I ate a lot of soups in Russia, when in Germany I don't eat soups at all. Germany has some soups in their cuisine, but it's not famous at all. It's not something popular. People not eat soups on a daily basis. When in Russia, soups, it's daily food, you know. Your grandmother, your mother would always tell you, eat soup when you're a kid, you know. Have you eaten soup today? You haven't eaten soup today, go eat soup. You're not gonna grow up. You know, like soup is so important in our culture. And we have, of course, many variations of soups. And every housewife, every wife, she knows how to cook good soup. She knows how to cook many soups, such an important part of our cuisine. But in Germany, not. And I just skip this, you know. I don't miss soups. I not really need to eat it. Even I don't eat it like at all. Like I can't remember now when I ate last soup. The next habit is clapping your hands when plane lands. Basically, it's very typical for Russians, and I don't know any other country who does this. When Russians fly somewhere, in the end of the flight, they always clap their hands. This moment when plane lands, they clap the hands, they cheer the crew, they cheer the captain. I don't know why. Do they expect that plane crash, or so they not get to the destination? But it's kind of funny, because all the time if you fly with Russians or you fly to Russia, you will see this, you will hear people clapping and like, woohoo! Alive. I don't know why, but for some reason people do this. The next habit I lost is to dress up, and of course to make makeup. The dressing up is huge in Russia. As a foreigner, you already probably heard about this, and if you already visited Russia, you will see that it's really huge. And people have kind of mentality to dress to impress. They don't dress because they feel comfortable in these clothes, they more dress because it's beautiful and it looks good on them, and they just want to impress. In Germany, nobody's gonna impress no one by their clothes. Like, this is the last what they care about. The dressing up, exists, yeah, but only for some special occasions. And it's basically just like a couple of times a year occasion. And in Russia, dressing up will be like daily habit. When you just go out from your apartment, you need to dress up, right? You need to do a makeup. Person does the makeup every day, they would not leave the house without the makeup. And so I was. Wherever I go, I need to make a makeup, and I need to make sure that I dressed well. Such a strong habit which just sits in your mind. I don't really understand the meaning of this, and it's not necessary, right? So I'm happy that I just lost this habit and I'm not gonna adopt this anymore. Next Russian habit I lost in Germany is to ask people some direct questions, to be too direct with people who I don't know, and just to be too private. Now I respect the privacy of other people, and I know where is the limits of conversations, so I don't ask unnecessary questions which I would ask in Russia, because we don't hesitate to ask some private questions which are related to some topics which are actually not allowed in conversations in Germany. For example, people don't talk in Germany about money, and in Russia we're totally okay with talking about money and about exact numbers and prices and like this stuff which in Germany are not discussable, especially in conversation with people who you just know and they are not your family or best friends. In Russia we can speak about everything with everybody. So now I also hold back in the conversations, and I really respect people's private life and private zone, and I'm not just pushy. The next Russian habit I lost is to spend money without thinking twice. I know that Germans are very good with spending money, we're very good with counting and analyzing and planning their budget. They are probably just the masters in it, but in Russia we are very bad actually with money and budgeting, and which just comes to planning. We really spend money on unnecessary things. People buy expensive clothes, expensive cars, expensive gadgets, even if they don't have money, because Russia used to take a lot of credits. Many Russians live on credits, so if they want to buy something, they will take a credit. It means that they are not able to afford it, they can't afford it while you take a credit. The Russian mentality is, if I want something, I want to buy it, I will buy it. Like anyway, like I will find the money, I will take credits, I will take money from my friends' parents, but I will buy this thing. And in Germany nobody does this. It looks like so unnecessary and so stupid, because who will buy something in Germany which is not practical, which we don't need actually? If you analyze it like twice, you don't need this thing. And they never would take a credit. If we will take a credit maybe for a house, for apartment, something long-term, something valuable, it's mostly the asset, it's not liability. And in Russia people have just liabilities everywhere. There are some people who take a credit for everything what we buy, because if you go to the shop, there are really high possibility that you can get a credit for this item. For example, you go to the electronics shop, you can get wash machine or refrigerator or new laptop, you can get a credit, and it's also easy. And in the shop there are credit workers, so they will prepare everything for you. There are no work required from your side to take a credit, because the traps are everywhere, and these companies all know that people are always, they don't think twice when they buy something. If you think twice, if you just see something what you like to buy and then you go home and you overthink this couple of days, most likely you don't need this, you would not buy this. But many people would just see something and we will immediately buy. I lost this habit. Before I also did this, and I bought some things which I don't need, and I just spend money where I don't need on things, when now I think really twice, or I think a lot when I spend money. Thank Germany to give me this habit. The next Russian habit I lost by living in Germany is to wear the hat in winter. In Russia it's very cold, as you may know, especially in winter. In January it can be -20 and even lower, and so I will wear the hat outside, when in Germany I never had the hat. Even if it's cold, like why I would wear the hat? Not necessary, I'm not gonna freeze my ears and I'm fine, I'm gonna survive. But I noticed that many Germans wear the hat in winter, and even not in winter, in other part of the year. I don't know why, it's also kind of like part of the style here. People just like how they look in hat, and they sometimes wear hat also in buildings, inside of the buildings. Some people in my university can just wear the hat sitting in a classroom, when in Russia we only wear a hat when we go outside in winter and when it's really cold. When it's not cold in winter, I'm of course not gonna wear the hat, but when it's already -15, -20, I wear the hat because it's very cold for your head. So yeah, now I don't see the necessity in this, but Germans still wear the hat. That's also a funny thing. The next habit I lost in Germany is to eat bread with anything. We eat bread with any meal, with everything, wherever we eat. We take like a piece of bread. Usually it's just easy rye bread, just dark bread, or it's white bread, just a poor white bread. It's nothing special, Vollkorn, Dinkel, and blah blah blah. It's just usual bread, and we always have it with the meals. Soup, if you eat potatoes, if you eat rice, you will have bread. Imagine you eat potatoes with something, I don't know, some meat, and then you will eat it with the bread. This is how we eat in Russia. Because soup eaten with the bread always, I don't know in Germany if you always eat soup with the bread, but when I order soups in Germany in restaurants, they bring it with the bread. So it's supposed to be eaten with the bread, but in Russia, like, you have to have bread with the soup, otherwise people would not eat it. Like, what the heck? Like, bread is so important. In Germany, bread is eaten as a single meal. Bread itself is a meal in Germany, when in Russia we have our meal and then we eat bread with it. So now, of course, I'm not doing this. It's like, my God, I can't even imagine now to eat it, because basically you eat your food, it has like specific tastes, and you eat it with bread, and bread has specific tastes. In the end, you actually feel the taste of the bread more, and you basically just eat the bread and something like in between. Your food just lose all taste. I don't understand it like now. How you can eat this bread, because make your food taste like nothing, just like bread. And the next habit also related to the food. In Russia, we eat 3 different meals in lunch. So of course I lost this habit. Not gonna eat 3 different meals in lunch, but in Russia we do. Basically, when you have your lunch, it's only for lunch. You always have a soup, you have a second dish, main dish, and you have a dessert. And usually have a tea or some kind of drink. Pretty much everybody eat this way, especially if you go somewhere in a restaurant or like in a cafe. It's typical lunch, it's always 3 different meals. I don't know, it's just like a rule to eat always 3 meals for lunch. If in Germany you don't have to, right? Like, maybe some people eat a meal and dessert, but usually you just eat 1 meal and that's it. You finish. In Russia we always change the plates, 1, 2, 3, and then maybe something, some fruits, and so it's like a lot of food. And especially imagine if you a housewife and you want to serve your husband, you need to prepare 3 different meals, and like, he wants to have 3 different meals. It's like, oh my God, so much work. I don't know why we do this way. Maybe we are so hungry, so we need 3 different meals to satisfy our hunger, but I of course never do this again. I have just 1 meal at lunch, nothing else. The next Russian habit I lost is to bring a gift when you visit someone. If someone invites you, come to their home, you always bring something with you. It can be some sweets, it can be some drink or just some food, but you always need to bring something, otherwise it's unpolite, just come with empty hands. In Germany, some people can do this, some people will bring some present, but it's not a rule, and nobody will expect from you to bring you a gift. No, nothing is expected. In Russia, like, you have to bring something, and always when you go to your friend as a guest, you always think, oh, I need to visit shop, I need to go to the shop before to buy something or to cook something actually to bring. Tradition for us, but I also don't do this anymore. It's too much work. For my grandmother, I still bring something, because she is always angry when I come to my grandmother without any present. Very unpolite in her opinion. To other people, no, I'm not gonna bring a present. Of course, if it's some birthday or or any other particular event where I know I need to bring the gift for a host, then I will do, but not the other ways. The next habit I lost when living in Germany is to wash your hands first thing when you come from a street. Basically just go straight right to the bathroom and wash your hands. It's also for us automatically happens. Pretty much everybody does this in Russia. When I come from the street, I go and wash my hands. And when in Germany, I don't do this. I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, but sometimes I also forget and I just leave it. Like I come from a street and I go on with my day and I'm not thinking, okay, have I washed my hands? And the last habit I lost in Germany is to gossip, because gossip is very common in Russia. The reason for this, for my opinion, is that people very care about what others think, and so they also like to discuss other people behind their back. Just like this woman gossip, it's very common in Russia. When in Germany, nobody cares actually. Like nobody will talk behind of your back something about you, because we just don't care. People really here don't care. You can do whatever you want. You can live your life. Really, nobody cares. In Russia, everybody cares. Everybody like to discuss everything about everybody. Don't see the reason for this. Why you waste your time talking about someone else? What does it bring to you? Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? Why you not discuss your life? This must be more interested for you. This is your life. This is what's going on with you. So you should discuss these things with your friends, but not the life of someone you know. I used to do something like that, but in a small amount, because for me it always was like, it doesn't make sense. But in Germany, like, I would never do this. Like, why? I don't care about what people do. It's a free country and everybody can do whatever they want. So guys, I hope you liked this video about also cultural differences and Russian-German habits. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I of course will see you in the next video.